Zonation in root. So there are some important zones or regions found in root. I have not drawn this diagram completely because same thing will be repeated on the other side as well, and these cells are, you need to continue to draw all these circular cells, both horizontally as well as vertically. So I have not wasted my time by drawing all these circles here. So just you need to understand the basic concept of all the zones found in root. So the outer margin, the blue outer margin, as you can see, this is epiblemma. These are unicellular root hair. This this portion is cortex. This outer red portion here, if I zoom it a little bit, then this outer red portion is cortex. The middle portion, which is not very prominent here, it is endodermis, and the inner portion is pericycle. So cortex is the outer portion, then the middle portion is endodermis, and the inner portion is pericycle. The green patch here is basically representing the combination of xylem and phloem. Now this is root apical meristem, and this root apical meristem is covered or protected by a very well formed root cap. This particular zone, that is having all these structures or all these components together, form the zone of maturation or zone of differentiation. Beneath this we have zone of elongation, and after that, as I have already told you, root apical meristem and root cap. Root cap sorry, root cap, multicellular. It is a protective structure and formed at the root tip. So the cells are multicellular, which are present in root cap or forming the root cap, and the root cap is a protective structure, and it is found at the root tip. This is an exception here. In screw pine, it is a plant which is commonly known as pandanus, or in Hindi we say it as keoda. Multiple root caps are present. So this is an exception. In hydrophytes or aquatic plants, no root cap is present, but instead they have root pockets. And some example of hydrophytes are Pistia, Eichhornia, Lemma, and many more. Root apical meristem has meristematic cells which are capable to show division, and due to that reason they increase the number of cells. Zone of elongation. This zone is proximal to root apical meristem. This zone has elongated cells, and these cells undergo vacuolation, or formation of vacuoles takes place here in this zone of elongation. There is an increase in size and growth of root. Zone of maturation. Cells undergo differentiation and become both structurally as well as functionally specialized. So in this zone of maturation, cells become both structurally and functionally specialized, giving rise to some special parts found in root, or some special features are involved due to these differentiating cells, and the process which is involved is known as differential gene expression. Root modification first is for food storage. First category, taproot, and the following types are conical root, napiform root, fusiform root. Conical root, example carrot, as you can see the structure here, cone like. Napiform root, example turnip, beetroot, as you can observe the structure here. Fusiform root, radish, it is elongated. Then the second type of food storage root is advantageous root, and the first category is tuberous root, example Ipomia batatas, commonly known as sweet potato, belonging to the family Convolvulaceae. Advantageous root, it gets swollen due to food accumulation. It has buds needed for plant propagation. And here is the structure of advantageous root, or you can say root of Ipomia batatas. Then fasciculated root, example Dahlia asparagus, arising from the stem and occurs in branches or bunches. Then nodule-like root or nodulous root, example Curcuma amada, commonly known as mango ginger, and these are nodule-like roots. As you can see, nodules are formed at the base. Then moniliform root, example Monardica portuloca, and Monardica commonly known as Karela in Hindi. I don't know what it is known in English. So Monardica, commonly known as Karela, and portuloca is known as Kulfa in common word. In moniliform root, roots get swollen due to regular deposition of food at regular intervals, and the structure is something like this. So once again, root modification first is root food storage, root modification, taproot, then advantageous root. Under taproot we have conical root, example carrot, napiform root, example turnip, beetroot, fusiform root, example radish. Under advantageous roots we have the following categories: tuberous root, fasciculated root, nodulous root, and moniliform root. Tuberous root, example Ipomia batatas or sweet potato. Fasciculated root, example Dahlia asparagus. Nodulous root, example Curcuma amada. Moniliform root, example Monardica and portuloca. And I will describe about respiratory roots or pneumatophoric roots in my next video, which is yet another kind of root modification. Thank you.